Hey, so this is Scott Coombe, talking on the third video of fat loss and Kangen water. Talked about what's going on, digestion, and now we're going to talk about what goes on in our body and how we deal with the problems in our diet and what's the real focus cause of obesity. And I just wanted to say the place that I'm making these videos is pretty nice. It's not my place. I wish it was. This is actually, we're on the coast of Washington on a little vacation, and so I figured, my wife took the kids to the beach, so I was going to do a little video and talk to you guys for a little bit. So, fat loss, obesity, overweight, totally preventable, easy to take care of, especially nowadays when we have something like Kangen water. Okay, and I'll talk about that real quick here, or I'll talk about obesity first, or overweightness right now, and Kangen water, how that helps. One of the problems right now is not that we're necessarily eating too much. It's not that we're eating healthy or not healthy. It's just that, yes, what we're eating is very acidic. The natural American diet is very acidic. It's not the fat that's causing us. I did an article once, it's called "It's Not the Fat That Makes You Fat." And then it boiled down to, we just need a balanced diet between the fats and the carbs and the proteins. Most of our diet is in the carb department, and that's pretty bad. Most of the fad diets that are out in South Beach and all those different things, and the diet for your blood type and stuff, and they're all like wrong. It's all because of our acidity. How many people that have been on these fad diets and it hasn't worked? And how many of you have been on these diets and know that our nation is getting heavier and heavier? So like the diet milk and the diet beer and the diet butter and the diet soup and on and on and on the list goes. It's just not working for us. Okay, it's still acids in our bodies, like the donut description that I used in one of the other videos. It's not being counteracted. Okay, so what the body does is, because we're taking in all this acid and it's not being counterbalanced with alkalinity in any form, it has to deal with our bodies and that acid. Okay, the body will remain in a homeostasis. It has to. Okay, so if it can't absorb, put everything through the liver, it's going to protect the liver so that it doesn't kill the liver with throwing all this acid to it. It has to have a certain amount per hour or whatever. So what it does is it says, okay, we have no way to deal with this acid that's running around in our bodies right now, so we're just going to take some fat and shove the acid in the fat and store it. And that way, it takes more and more acid and shoves it away into storage. And people are saying, oh, it's, our kidneys and our pancreases are all messed up and doing evil things. No, actually, it's trying to counteract the diet that we're having. And the only thing that it knows to do with acid that's uncontrolled and continuously coming in is to shove it in some fat, which is a great insulator, and store it. And so, as they did some studies on liposuctions, and they sucking all the fat out of people, and they're saying, well, let's dissect that fat, and what is it? Is it very acidic? And they went through the fats, and they're like, wow, this is just incredibly acidic fat. Like, what's going on with this? Not knowing what to do with the problem there, with their findings. But it makes total sense, because that's what the body does, And if it's not in there, putting in the fat, there's another thing that happens is cholesterol buildup in our arteries. Okay, so like the same thing, all this acid in our body is also the acid in our blood. Okay, and so all that acid in our blood, it would just eat through our arteries like crazy. We'd be alive maybe, a couple of days with all this stuff. So what it has to do is protect itself, is put a cholesterol, skim around our veins. And more, because all the acid that we're putting in it is eating through things. Okay? These are natural protective devices. And it's kind of like the body's at its last resort, saying, I don't know what else to do. Here, let's throw cholesterol ring around all of our veins to shield it, because and yes, the heart's going to pump harder, but we got to protect our veins. We got to keep the body functioning. We got to take this acid and shove it in some fats and store it, because it has no possible way of being able to deal with this. So here's how we help it with the Kangen water. Kangen water comes in and it alkalinizes. Okay, so we eat our acidic food. Okay, boom, boom, boom. We had a great donut, loved it, and now we drink a whole bunch of Kangen water. Alkalinizes everything. Okay, so and it is able to microclustered, so it goes through everything. If you take with your supplements, Kangen water, immediate effect. It just absorbs it like crazy. It just, and it's six-pointed. It just takes the little molecules of the supplements and puts it right into the body. Total absorption. It's amazing. And then what it does is it goes through, and as it's flushing things out, and it starts alkalinizing all this acidic things in our bodies. Okay, we start detoxing, and more as the body's getting more alkalinized. Okay, no longer does it need to hold on to those acidic fats, and so slowly, bit by bit, it'll start discharging it once the body is alkaline and back into homeostasis, and it doesn't have to be in panic mode anymore, saying, what are we going to do about it? And so just like the bowels, will start, bad stuff has been hanging out there, it's going to start flushing out, and you're going to have nice clean bowels. You're going to have nice clean arteries. You're going to have the body just naturally, just slowly taking all that fat out and just flushing it out the system. But you have to have an alkaline body and keep the body maintained in homeostasis. Okay, and you do that by drinking large amounts of Kangen water, because that's going to counteract the diet. Now, if you start or continue drinking soda pop, that's going to be the killer. Okay, soda takes almost 23 or 30 glasses of Kangen water just to barely neutralize one soda. So I mean, I've done tests where it's been just fraction of maybe 1 to 2 ounces of Kangen water, and you put it in a jar, in a big jar, and you just pour in Kangen water and Kangen water and Kangen water and Kangen water in, and it's just filling up, and then it starts overflowing, and it's still not making it alkaline. Okay, it's just, soda's just really bad. It's a 2 or 2.5 on the acidic scale. You didn't need 11.5 to be drinking, which we don't recommend, just to counteract, some soda. And even then, it's going to take a lot of drinking. So if you cut out the sports drinks, you cut out the energy drinks, you can keep your coffee, but best yet, use the, Kangen water through your coffee. You only use half as much, and it takes out the bitterness, and it's really good. But you got to get out the sodas, and you got to get out the sports drinks. Okay, you do that, and especially if you're in an alkaline state, you lose the desire to drink the soda. I know for sure. I used to drink almost a case a day, but for 20 years of my life, I drank at least a 6-pack a day. And no desire. Started drinking the Kangen water, gone. Absolutely no desire to drink it right now. and I love that. So that's part 3 of the video, and I'll talk to you later about what's going on in the next video. Okay, see you guys. Bye bye.